You like it? Walking on the beach is unbelievable. Carrying a tan is unbelievable. The good feeling of the beach. The beach is a great place. Had an encounter with a seagull. Caught a fish about this big. Flew onto the beach huffing and puffing. Couldn't make it any further than where the water met the beach. Dropped the fish about 4 feet up on the beach. I ran over. The seagull looked at me like, "What are you doing?" And then he got us 5 feet away, and I looked at the fish, and it had a little red mark on it. Wasn't too badly screwed up. So I bent down, scooped him up, and threw him back in the water right in front of that seagull. Fishy swam away.
This leads to the topic for today.
What might that topic be, Mr. Jackson?
How do you define...
Uh-oh. We always get in trouble with that lead in.
How do you define happiness?
I think there's a lot of ways to touch being happy.
Is happiness a spiritual thing?
I think being happy is a choice.
There's a lot of people that really want to be happy and are trying to choose happiness that just can't do it for whatever reason. I don't know why.
They're expecting a party when it's probably a lot more subtle. Happiness is a state of mind that allows you to be who you are, feel who you are, focus on loving and being loved. If you can put that recipe together, you will experience happiness. I'm going to tell you, if you want to be happy, all you have to do is get rid of your wants. That's a Buddhist thing, okay? Lose the wanting. That's the essence of happiness.
Is it a bad thing to want to obtain material goods and material wealth?
That's not the question. The question is, what does the wanting do for you?
Isn't it like a benchmark? Isn't it like a goal?
No. Say you right now want money.
You don't think we need money?
No, you want money.
Okay.
You're focused on wanting it.
Okay.
If I'm in my right spot, I'm not doing what I'm doing for money, but money will come anyway. Wouldn't you rather be surprised than pissed off that it didn't get here yet?
Or should you?
The idea of wanting it is the issue. The idea of being overwhelmed with the thought process that says, that money was supposed to be here 5 minutes ago. Where's that money? Did we get that money yet? Did we get that money? Rather than do the work, and you will turn around sometime and go, holy shit, there's a lot of money in that bank account. Wanting it, I guess, is okay if that's your choice. I have found that not wanting it, that doing the right thing, doing the next right thing, treating people the way you would like to be treated will lead to your life bearing fruit, AKA money.
Yeah.
You don't have to want it. Wanting it leads to disappointment. It's not here yet. I didn't get enough. I want more.
Anxiety.
Right.
Yeah. I see.
As opposed to get that distraction out of your head and do the next best thing because you want to give some power to the power that's in the world and be the best person that you can be.
Is it possible?
Yes.
To be truly happy?
Yes.
Take away money, take away material.
You've been truly happy.
It's not me personally. I'm asking.
You've been truly happy, so therefore it's possible.
But it's such an up and down moment. I was listening to a podcast with Kevin Durant and Draymond Green. I'm paraphrasing a lot here, but I believe Draymond asked Kevin, what would make you happy? Something to that extent. And Kevin Durant's response was, I'm not concerned. I'm not searching for happy.
Correct. He's not wanting it.
Yeah, I'm going day by day. I know what I like to do. I know what I love. I'm going to do that the best I can. And I'm going to put my all into that. But in terms of happiness, I can't tell you what happiness is or what it's not because I'm just living life. And to say I'm happy all the time or I'm not happy is just, who knows? Basically,
if you're not suffering an affliction, if you're not in pain, if you're not being extorted, having negative pressures put upon you, shouldn't your default state be happy?
There's a lot of people that are just innately unhappy. Like they're just not happy. Things can be going great. Everything's good. They're just unhappy.
Right.
I think that is more people, and you have to add in the pandemic. That's huge, and you have to add in all these social issues and left this, right this, and everything, right? You have to add all these into the equation. But there's people that are just genuinely unhappy.
Waiting for something or somebody to come into their life and fix it. The fixing of your life is part of the things you will derive your pride, your good feelings, your gratefulness from. The effort is important. The one step in front of the other is important. The not giving up is important. It leaves you in the game to experience happiness.
Our favorite word, stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah.
Hey, Todd, pick up the mic real quick. Are you happy?
Yes, I am happy.
That's the first person that I've asked that question to that didn't take maybe 10 minutes to
There's a thing in society that there is a guilt associated with being happy.
You think so?
Just like if you ask people, are you loved? A lot of people will look around the room and go, am I answering that to a person who has no one? Well, then I don't really want to tell them I'm loved. There's a lot of crap that comes with answering the questions. Todd said he's happy. I believe he's happy, but I believe happy is a choice. I believe
feel a lot of need to qualify that emotion,
correct.
that happiness, or even that love. Well, I'm loved, but it could be this or this.
I'm happy, but this could be better.
But it could be better.
Yeah, but that's not the question. The question is, are you happy? I mean, I will tell you that one of the things, stick-to-itiveness, is something I've always been grateful for. But I wake up happy. I don't wake up dreading yesterday's news.
That's a good quality.
It's a great
That's a
quality.
great quality.
It's been a blessing. I don't drag that out of bed
Because
in the
lately
morning
my mom's been this negative Nancy when it comes to not personally but the outside news with like COVID and floods. I'm like, hey man, listen, child. I can't call it what's gonna happen when I get out there. I'm just going to Comac.
Lisa, my wife, has been doing some of that with the COVID, with the...
But hold on, I'm gonna stop you.
Yeah.
That's the thing, and we have to be sensitive to this, is mental health is a thing right now. It's always been a thing, but now it's like there are people that are just, we touched on this, that are just, and to use the word of the day, unhappy in a terrible, dark place. And I think it's a lot to do with the times we're in. Brother, it's bad.
And by the way,
yeah,
you know that to be true. I think that healthcare is probably at critical mass as far as mental health. Agreed?
Yeah, and people have been
So
stuffed.
how is it that the news channels continue to broadcast what they're broadcasting?
That's a huge thing.
How can they look the other way to adding the depression? How can they do that? To sell what? Airtime? That's a sad story right there. Somebody in charge of a network has to say, enough already. Stop with the projecting of the worst things in our lives. Start putting something out there that's positive.
But
Start doing what we're trying to do here.
At the end of the day, that's out there. You've talked before about happiness being generated internally.
It's the only place you can go.
Exactly.
It's the only place where the shitstorm isn't inside you. Or at least you can edit it out. You have control of that.
Montana, are you happy?
I am happy at heart.
Okay, stop. So that, in my age group, that is the answer I get. 100% the answer I get in that 25 to 40, 18 to 40 range. If I asked a young person.
That was a no for me.
100%.
Okay.
100%.
But that was a no with the youthful flavor of...
A little sass to it.
I have
I know
potential.
why it's a no. I think I'm not happy where I am right now. I want to do better. I could be better. But I should have the mindset of how much better I was yesterday or right now than I was 6 months ago, and see how far I've come, and take that mentality of yesterday's past and bring it forward where...
Well, just live it.
I need to appreciate my growth.
Back in your day, it was a lot easier to be happy because you weren't overexposed. You weren't hyper-exposed to everything. Everything's coming at me from the time I open my eyes in the morning. I have to run away from, I have to literally throw my phone across the room to like before I get bombarded with stuff. The one great thing I've learned from you, right, that I was doing great at before the 8 a.m.s was taking that morning time to not immediately go into the day running and sprinting in battle. You understand what I'm saying? That was the best thing you've taught me so far.
Well, and one of the things I learned from the youth I'm surrounded by now, I picked up, and I think I had Richie or Matt put TikTok on my phone.
TikTok.
So I watched me some TikTok for about a month or so. You know what I realized about TikTok? And sorry, TikTok. Whatever you feed grows. So if I want to put a button on my phone that will bring me voyeurism at its best, other shit that other people are doing that I can watch to distract myself from good things I could be doing to grow my person, to be a better flower in God's garden. If I want to do this mindless stuff, because it's easy, and reading some of the books I read about spirituality is not easy. I've been reading stuff for philosophy and spirituality for 30 years. I'm reading one about Kabbalah right now, where your head explodes and it ties to everything else, and you go, can this be real? And it's wondrous, and it invites you into a new way of thinking about yourself. Millions and millions of people are sucked into the TikTok thing because while they're watching this goofy shit, they don't have to admit, ain't no progress here, going nowhere, doing nothing, wasn't that funny? Well, if you only have limited time on this planet, and that's what you want to invest your time in, I could tell you one thing, you're making bad decisions. And I was making bad decisions. It was that little shiny thing. Hey, come check TikTok. It's a little shiny thing. Watch it. It's shiny. You like it. It sparkles. And then I went, the hell am I doing? What?
I absolutely agree with you. And I also think that goes back to when we're discussing mental health and the younger generations. When it comes to social media, they are just comparing themselves to what other people are doing. And even if it's people being positive, doing positive things, it's still going to make somebody unhappy because they wish they were doing that, but instead they're just looking at it, living vicariously through them.
The sad part, as the news, it's predatory. Because I'm putting up this TikTok to capture your attention so you're engaged in my TikTok and you're saying, wow, look what he's doing. It's so fucking cool. I wish I could do that. I wish I had a Lamborghini. What are you going to grow out of that? You're going to grow want. You want to see happy? Come over to Slade Suprina's house when he sees his grandparents get out of the car.
But he's also an innocent pup. He's a pup.
No. You could say he doesn't know about the bills due on the house.
100%.
You could say he doesn't know that there's a storm coming.
Yeah.
You could say,
yes.
Or you could say,
no,
it's not what he focuses on.
The grandkid thing's a bad example.
Grandkid is not.
Because as they get older,
that is a unscrewed with being.
Yes, but life's gonna change that. Life will change that.
Until you decide to. I'm back. I'm 7. I'm Scott Suprina at 7.
Yeah.
In my head.
Okay.
You know what I did at 7 years old if I fell down and fell into dog shit? Got up, wiped it off as best I could, and went wherever my friends were going to continue the party.
And then life.
The dog shit was life. That's the worst you had to offer me. And what did I do?
But listen to what you're saying.
What did I do? I probably threw it at my sister. I made it useful.
No. But listen to what you're saying. That was life. That was the worst thing that could have happened to you.
All of life is that way.
No, it's not. I've
lost my home. I've had cars repossessed.
Yes.
I've had all the bad things happen. Guess what happens? You wake up the next day, and guess who's there? That 7-year-old kid. And guess whose choice it is? How you're going to feel about what's going on.
But you always didn't have that positive mindset. Yeah.
Because I listened to the news.
No.
Yes.
Because life. Because when a grown man loses his home with the kid and a wife, you're going to feel some type of way about it.
Best thing that ever happened to me. The world said, stop being a schmuck or we're taking your house again.
But not in that moment. Not in that moment. It wasn't the best thing that ever happened to you. You thought the world was happening. No, you're making my point. You're making my point. As life hits you, you're not going to have that innocent adolescents that
There's no innocent. I did it. I created the storm in which they took me
after you had to relearn. Oh, you did. Yeah, you did. You
I
created
created
that.
Yes,
and
but
you also created the abundance in which you live with because you had to relearn.
I made that happen.
You had to go back into that childlike form. It takes time.
It's the only place, but I'm saying to you, it's the only place to operate from. The fact that people are lost is not something you can clean up in an hour.
Yeah, it takes time.
You can only say to people, look, I could tell you candidly. I had people tell me when I was a very young guy, a 10-year-old kid, you're too trusting. You can't just sit down with somebody and talk to them and share with them how you really feel about something. He'll take that information and use it against you, and you need to be careful and fold up inside and really keep your shit close to your chest, or somebody's going to rob you of that personal information. And then, thank you for scaring the fuck out of me. Now I can't talk to anyone. I meet people every 3 days who have a brilliant idea. I ask them what it is, and they can't tell me. Because I'll steal it.
Because of life. Because of life, and that someone has stolen the ideas in the past, and they're saying to that person, hey, watch out. Someone might steal your idea, and warning them because of life, and people do scumbag type shit.
Enough. Yeah. Fair enough. So right after that guy warns them, then the second guy walks up and says, hey, watch out, because you might tell somebody that idea, and he might have the money to back you, or he might have a similar experience to help you, and he might help you. Watch out. No one warned you about good shit.
Happiness is not that easy to find, especially in today's age.
What all the books that I read will tell you is you're looking out there when you got to look in here.
Factually. Facts. Actual facts.
Happiness is simple to find. By the way, when you get fired from your job, then you walk into your office and you sit down and you clear your head. In 20 seconds, you could find happiness. You know what I know? And I believe this.
Yeah.
And I've looked back on my history more and more recently. Every time that I had obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, I was going the wrong way. The universe was trying to turn my direction. So if you got fired from your job, if you learn to embrace, if you start to believe, as a kid did, okay, if I take Slade over to the playground and he tries to climb something and he can't climb it and he falls down and he sees there's another path over here, he's going to take that other path. He's not going to have a personal crisis about, fuck this, I can't climb this climber. This thing's a piece of shit. I should be able to climb this. But he's not all engaged in the designer of the climber and his ability to climb it. It's just next.
But there's going to come a time. There's going to come a time.
Not if I raise him, there won't.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about anybody. There's going to come a time where mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle won't be around. And they're going to have to figure it out themselves and go through the highs and lows of life. And they have to take your principles, but they're always not going to stick to those principles. And they're going to have unhappy times. And they're going to have the times where they're depressed.
They're going to have things happen to them that they don't enjoy.
Yeah.
They can still be happy. And this is your limitation of yourself by verbiage. By not hearing what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Happiness is a choice. Only if they weren't immersed in a barrage of negative bullshit every day so they can't grab a gulp of air. The happiness thing, the truth of it is, Slade, my grandson, has it right. Wake up, let that happy person inside be happy. Something shitty happens, deal with it the best you can, forgive the universe for dumping shit on your head, and be happy again. That's the recipe. That's fucked up. Why would I be happy? I have no reason to be happy. The real question is, why would you be sad? You have no reason to be sad.